I've got to go and put my washing into the tumble dryer right now, so I'll be gone for like 30 seconds. There you go, have some of that.
I can't be the only one who feels like I'm going nowhere. Just wishing somehow this dream will carry me. And I'll swear just one last time. They say the world is yours, so I'ma make it mine. 'Cause nothing is stopping you. You could set the world on fire. Nothing is stopping you. And if I go out, I'll go out screaming. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. It's all or Cause nothing is stopping you. You could set the world on fire. Nothing is stopping you. And if I go out, I'll go out screaming. And if I go out, I'll go out screaming.
They vote Elite FPL.
And the gold award. This is the one. Elite FPL. Well done. Big shout outs to you, man.
Your past won't catch you now.
Jason, any more final thoughts?
No, just to say thank you everybody and for all the support again. And Steve-O, he's a bit mean, but he means well. and I'm not going to rise to the occasion. He can bash my team as much as he wants, but I don't care. It just makes me stronger. Makes me more keen to stay above him on the tables. And I guarantee, the end of this weekend, you're going to be looking up to me, Steve-O, thinking, what am I going to have to do? What I'm going to have to do to catch him? See you later, dude.
Exactly. Cheers, Jason. Thank you so much. There was our co-host, Jason, there, bragging.
Good afternoon, everybody, ladies and gentlemen that are here watching on this Saturday afternoon. We've still got daylight. It is still light outside, which is great. The lighter evenings are on the way. The clocks are going forward, I believe, tomorrow or tonight or Monday. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think so. Well, I think so. Yeah. So we're going to start to have lighter evenings. We can start looking forward to the summer returning. Warmer weather. I think it's going to be 22 degrees, my wife was saying, next week, which is mental. I'm really looking forward to the summer. I'm over this winter, man. I really am. And, you know, with everything that's been going on in the world and stuff, I'm looking forward to a lot of positivity in everyone's lives. And anyway, Steve-O was literally, I think you were 45 seconds early for this stream today. I messaged him at 27 past. I was thinking, yeah, I'm ready when you are, mate. Just getting in, mate. Just getting in.
I completely forgot that the time was, and I was just ranting to my brother about. Right, this is the one thing I can't wait to do on members videos is talk about this house, but I can't at the moment. I can't because everybody's in. Don't worry. They'll be coming.
Yeah. Let's wait for everyone's out. Just wait till everyone's left. And. Eh?
2 weeks to go. 2
Till
weeks.
What?
Then they fuck off.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely. This furlough, all hopefully. Well, for some people, they can go back to work, isn't it? So yeah, this is. Like a kind of rarity at the moment, isn't it? Me and you getting on together. I don't know about you, mate, but I'm absolutely knackered. Like generally, just the weekends for me, literally like this, boom, and they're gone. I'm back Monday morning, back on the grind, and it's like no FPL at the moment, and it's just like some days I just don't know where the time goes. I really don't. But how are you finding this international break? Did you watch England? Because I didn't.
I don't. I know Dan's probably watching this. I honestly don't give a. I don't care about the FA Cup. I don't care about the international matches. I just use it as a rest, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm FPL'd out. I'm completely FPL'd out now, and I'm like, this break is perfect. Like, just kind of try to kind of like rest my mind, and it's just kind of the void from FPL has been filled by this stupid little Discord game that we've got. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it?
I've seen it, but it doesn't interest me. But what is it?
It's like
camera.
Oh, I don't have to, do I? It's like, right, do you know what Ultimate Team is, Steve-O?
Yes.
Do you know what it is, or you've heard of it?
I've heard of it. But I couldn't tell you what it is.
Right, okay. So essentially it's Discord based Ultimate Team. So you collect your 11 starting players from a pool of players from all over the world, literally all over the world, and you aim to build a team that's from the same sort of, either same club, same league, same nationality, and depending on the types of players, you can perform better, and the chemistry and all that jazz. Anyway, it's quite addicting, and I put it onto the Discord a week ago. Oh, over a week ago, 8 days ago, I think it was now, and I think we've got, I don't know, 30 people playing it already. But they're not like, a lot of them are in there, and they're in there like all the time. Like, they're in there like friendlies. You can play each other. So like, if you were to build a team,
would you argue though that that's why the Discord is so successful for us. It's because of these innovative ideas that you come up with and everything that brings people together on it.
I just think it's come at a good time because obviously international break, people getting obviously a little bit bored with football. I mean, obviously international football, but that time people have just invested into this little Ultimate Team game, and it's quite interesting because a few rivalries building up already, and there's also talk of a competition, and we are trying to sort of competition out. I tried to do a league on it, but long story short, it's going to take admin work. So if anyone actually wants to step up and say, I want to be in charge of this tournament, and
build the rock.
Right, then essentially, we're just going to try and work out, but again, it's a game of luck, just like FPL. Really, it's a game of like you claim cards. If you get a really good one, then there's you've pretty much set for a good start. I'm just going to move your webcam. It's gone all small again, even though that's weird. So yeah, Steven, what's been up in your life? What have you been up to in the week? I know you've been doing your members videos, and obviously, why did we decide to do this particular video today? Like, what was the thinking behind it? Because I know got people in the chat. Hello to you guys.
Continue the daily dose of members content. plus it's one day that we're actually available. It's like I said at the start, it's ironic that we can do this together when there's no football on. There's actually no fantasy football on. I'm actually able to do a stream. Well, for me it's late. For you, this is probably midday. But
well,
for me, this is really late on in the day for me.
Yeah. I mean, how do you find it? Like, because I noticed you were way more energetic in the summer. I think the sun, because I think that because it's lighter, I think that you kind of do your sleeping patterns sort of change in the summertime? Do you try to stay awake a bit longer?
First summer with me being used to. It's going to sound really weird, but this is going to be the first year that I've been doing early morning starts. So I don't know, maybe it's just all caught up to me and stuff like that, but I'm going through a stage in my life, as you know, which I'm just like not happy with. Mate,
anything. Mate, we're kind of getting on the same page because there's changes afoot in my life as well. There's a big change. I had a change today. I picked up a new car today.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But it's one of those where, I've had a good deal on a new car, and essentially I took my new car, which is a Tucson Premium, that's a Hyundai Tucson Premium, back to the dealership, and they gave me a 21 plate, brand new, it's got like no miles on it, SE nav, and the deal I've got is pretty much just literally I think it's like £15 more when I take into factor in everything, and I drove it out of the dealership today after it had been delayed. I'm like, oh, it's not got under seat heating. It's not, okay, and it's not got the indicators on the wing mirrors. It's not got the overtake warning indicators. Oh, right, okay. All right, hasn't got the side radar. Oh, okay. The things you get used to, right? And then I literally, this isn't the kicker. This is the kicker, right? I get down the road, I park up, I get back in the car, turn on the ignition after going in to grab something, and I get in, and the engine management light comes on. 13 miles on the clock. And I ring them up and I'm like, excuse me, the engine management light's just come on. Oh, right, okay. And then the top-up washer bottle comes on. I'm like, what is going on with the world today? Can you not? This is a brand new car, right? Literally, I can't even tax it yet because it's not even on the system. And it's like,
oh, wow.
I'm trying to tax it today, and it was just like, cannot find registration, so I'm going to try and do it tomorrow. It's on a private drive, ladies and gentlemen, so don't worry. But I'm not sure if the dealership taxed it anyway, because they gave me this. I have to go through the paperwork, but I need to. Long story short, I rang them up. I said, "What's going on here?" The management lights come on, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, the washer bottle thing just came on as well, so I'll fill it up and see if the engine management just miraculously goes off." You know, it didn't. So she says, "Right, okay. Well, bear in mind this is 12 o'clock. I picked the car up at 10 o'clock, and." And it's like, right, well, the technicians are going home at 1 o'clock, so you're going to have to bring it around on Monday. And I'm like, right. Okay, then. So yeah, so that's another inconvenience now. Because obviously I work Monday and my wife works. So it's just like, it's trying to get that fitted around. But anyway, apart from that, my day's been pretty relaxed. I, just chilled out. Did a few bits and pieces that I needed to do. I need to save some money on my car insurance, by the way, Steve-O. You'll be pleased to hear.
How much?
Well, I've saved £20 a month. How mental is that?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You've been driving for what, 15 years, I'm guessing?
I have been driving for how old am I now? I've been driving for, hang on, get the old calculator out.
When did you pass? 17?
No, I was older than that. I was 19 when I passed, because I walked to work. I used to walk to work, and
well, you've been driving
16 years.
Yeah, double me then. I've only been driving for 8. So
16 years, and I've got 7 years no claims.
Yeah. I've got no claims on mine whatsoever. So I've got 8 years no claims. So you're probably barely paying anything like me.
Yeah.
I pay something like 45 a month.
Wow,
like
you're going to be sick.
So
you're going to be sick when I tell you. Right, I went on there, right, because this car, I don't know, I think it's because the car's like they call it a mini hybrid, right?
Right.
So it's got this little battery that kind of gives the engine a little bit more power when you're driving around. It charges itself back up when you're slowing down for junctions and stuff. So the brake horsepower is only 115 brake, and I had to look twice at the screen because I was shopping around. You know, you should always shop around for insurance. You should never ever go for renewal or on the first quote you get. So basically, I went on Money Supermarket, and I will advocate for Money Supermarket. If you're getting car insurance, get on there, because they apparently they put money in on your behalf to get you better deals. And I got Admiral car insurance. I got for £25.76 a month. Yeah. And I added personal injury. And that was with my wife as a named driver. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the cheapest car insurance I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I'm with Churchill. I was with Admiral. Admiral was the cheapest that I could get on my old Volkswagen. So yeah, now I've got a crappy little Renault or whatever. But in fact, that's why mine's so high. You've just reminded me. Because mine stopped. Actually, that's why mine's quite high. Mine stopped because I didn't drive for 2 years. So your insurance and everything restarts again.
Right.
So I'm back up to kind of like original price and everything, so to speak, on my little car. So yeah, that actually now makes sense why it's so expensive. I say expensive, it's not that much really, but yeah.
But, yeah. I was actually paying around £40 to £45 before that for myself and my wife as a named driver. So yeah, it's been one hell of a saving just for going on to Money Supermarket, really. But yeah, life is life, and it keeps ticking by. And I just, there is so much going on at the moment, certainly in my life, that I could do a member stream on my own about it, and I might just do that at some point very soon. At some point very soon.
The one that you did the other week about yourself was fantastic. It is the good thing about doing the members videos is that you can, let's get real here, just say what you want. You have to stick to a structured kind of plot point. Like obviously when we do our normal streams for the public, we have to stick to a particular subject matter and whatnot, and get the callers on in your case and everything.
Yeah.
But I think for members videos, you've got free reign to say whatever the fuck you want, basically, and it's great. It's I really enjoy them. I think doing them is just a lot of fun, and like I say, we've been doing them every day.
The more I think about like where this channel is going to be in a year's time, 2 years time, and the content that we'll be producing is where we sort of what sort of format would we evolve to, and I always say that we're never gonna get to that point. Like, I can't see us ever being like scripts. We talk about this for 10 minutes. Right, we'll move on to that subject for 5 minutes. Right, we'll move on to this for 2.5 minutes. We'll cover this league. We'll cover that, and then we'll.
It's funny you say that, because in my my fantasy Premier League my FPL league.
I know your league rankings.
One of the ones that I put in League 3. Sorry, League 1. Fucking hell. They do stick to a script, and you actually see it on screen. I'm just like, dude, like, you're having a normal conversation. You're literally saying, right, let's move on to the next
Steve,
subject.
so I'm gonna have to stop you there because we are running out of time. we need to talk about this player's XG, because I tell you now, he's about to pop off, mate. And it's a tip. I'm going to give you this tip. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, I just wouldn't enjoy it, mate. I wouldn't enjoy it, and I don't think you would either. I mean, it's a case of like, the content's there when the content's there. Some people say, oh, well, when you next streaming, when I can. When I can is the answer to that. It's like, I think, things will get better. Certainly when things get back to normality for a lot of people, I think things will get better. Mental health will improve as well. I've been pretty down about things lately. Obviously, not being able to see family, not being able to go places and be places with other people. That does play on you. Yourself, you're not being able to go to the gym. You love going down to the gym. You get in a routine. You're used to your routine. That routine breaks apart. You have to do your own thing. It's just like, and it's a social thing as well in the gym. You get to know people in the gym.
Not for me, but yeah.
Well, no, you don't, because obviously you go there at 4 in the morning. You're a nutter. But essentially, I think, yeah. But
also, exploring London. That's the one thing I actually mainly miss the most is getting on the old tube. And
I can't stand London, mate. What is it about London you like? Apart from the fact that no. Apart from the fact that your favourite bands play there.
No, I wasn't going to say it. It's okay. Do anything within reason. You can pretty much
do anything,
and anything's really accessible.
I thought you were going to say expensive.
No.
Because it is.
Something on Twitter popped up yesterday, because basically today, the Bill were having a reunion. There was like 30 old cast members anyhow, and they were doing like a Zoom conference call, blah, 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 blah. Well, yesterday at the St James's Park, right by Buckingham Palace, the guardsman actually played the theme song to the Bill. And not that I would have seen it, but I used to be able to see moments like that when I used to go exploring, going down areas like that, and just seeing just random things happening with whatever it may be.
Whatever's going on at any one time.
Yeah, precisely. And it was.
I just find it so busy, mate. I find it so busy, and I find it irritable. I find it irritable in the sense that it's just so claustrophobic. It's an open area. I don't get it, but the amount of people, obviously not so much now, but the amount of people in such a compact, like in roads, in bus stations, train stations, anywhere open to the public, especially in the summer. But I just think, like, I've been the opposite to you. The older I get, I kind of like my own space, and I kind of like what I've been walking along canals. Like, when I say canals, a canal, which is the Worcester to Birmingham Canal, and it's so peaceful, mate. Like, it's one of the most peaceful things you can do. Is just walk along a canal, watch the odd boat go past. You've got bird feeders that boatsmen have put up, for the birds. You've got, ponies walking down. It's like I've gone back to the 1800s, mate. It literally is like I've gone back in time. You go underneath all the roads, no one can see you, and it's just like, wow. And it's so... And when you get out to the country and you get out to the open fields, I tell you, man, it's literally like you're in another world. And then you get out and you get back in your car and you drive and you think, everyone thinks at 100 mile an hour. And I can imagine that living on a boat must be like freedom for a lot of people. And cutting, like you've often said that you like to be cut away from like the whole internet, social media, and try and disconnect yourself from the everyday hustle and bustle. But then again, you live in London, which is probably the worst place for that. But if you were really serious about cutting yourself away, then if I was serious about that personally, I'd be like, right, I'm gonna get a canal boat and I'm gonna go and live on a canal boat. And we got Dan become a member. Dan's become a member. Dan, how's it going, mate? Gabriel's Rob's there as well. Hello to the people in chat. Matthew, Iziashi, Podner, John McEwen.
Dan, obviously, I speak to Dan on a private level on a daily basis, and he uses a great word for me, which is I find it very difficult to escape. So one thing you can't do up here, which is escape. But like I said, circumstances at the moment aren't really allowing the time.
No.
But once everything goes back to normal, I think that certain areas which I still go to, won't be as busy. I go to this one specific spot. I was there today, and I genuinely just go there and just put the car seat back as far as I just lie there. It's just one of the few places in the area that I live which is just silence, and I just fall asleep. It's great. It genuinely is. It's not ironically, it's not a particularly that pleasant an area, but it's quiet enough where
you can hear yourself think and just relax. Yeah,
and it's very difficult at the moment now, but like you say, London is an extremely busy area. I wouldn't want to raise a family here. Let's just put it like this. I think that what yourself are doing, or where we used to come from, Torbay, I think is a beautiful part of the area, a world, Britain.
But for a young person looking to have a lot of amenities and attractions nearby and events, London is that. Yeah, I completely understand that. But Podner's in the chat, and hi Harbour Boy. Dan, how you doing, mate? How's things with you? Are you having a good weekend so far? Podner's saying that he's actually been thinking about living on the canal. Wow.
Living on a canal. We've got a canal near me, but I wouldn't want to live there. I wouldn't want to live on a canal boat or anything like that. It doesn't. Well,
you just go where you want to go, man.
Yes, that's true. I don't know.
Like, it's like, if you could just literally go, right, there's a gig up in Liverpool, right? Cool. I'm gonna put 4 days aside, 5 days, and I'm gonna cruise nice and slowly up the canal. And I tell you, the only thing that would scare me was the locks. You'd need someone to help you with those locks. There's some mean ass locks out there. But other than that,
yeah, it's one of those. But it's crazy to think, isn't it, Jace, that in a week's time we're all back to normal. It's all back to normal fantasy football world and everything from.
No, well, places aren't open. No. We're not all back to normal. Like, we can only meet in the garden.
Fantasy football, mate.
Oh, sorry. Fancy football back to normal, right? Okay.
Yes. We got what, one more day left, and then it's back to everybody thinking about their teams, and it doesn't seem like you said. It doesn't. Everybody goes on about a 2-week break, but it's not.
It's never 2 weeks.
It's not. It's if you're lucky, a week.
Yeah, because you got the aftermath. People are talking about the aftermath for 2 or 3 solid days. What did you? And then,
I was going to say, talking of the aftermath, what did you think about the fact that Size, was it a 20-point lead over you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I got to give credit where credit's due. As much as I find him irritable, at the end of the day, the only real way he was going to catch and overtake me again was to captain complete differentials that I don't own, and he did. So fair play. And I said that to anyone that is chasing or looking to compete against a mini league rival. You need to captain players that aren't owned by your rivals and take a risk. He took a risk. It paid off. And oh my God, didn't it just? And the Cancelo pick was great, and I mean, I'm just I'm very, very grateful that I had Lingard in, because I didn't do the Trossard. Obviously, his Trossard pick was good, very, very good, but I considered bringing him in. Essentially, Sai's got issues though with his team, and he's going to have to use his wild card soon. So I'm hoping that when he does use his wild card, he doesn't get as lucky. But to be honest with you, I'm not actually looking at, and I'll be completely honest. I didn't even consider myself as in with a chance of winning that league at 5 or 6 game weeks ago. So I'm just grateful to be in the running at the moment and just see where it goes. I'm not going to put pressure on myself. I'm not gonna like start comparing my team to Sai's team every week, going, right, well, he's got because that's not healthy. It's not a healthy way to play FPL. You start getting distracted with other people like that. Your overall rank starts to be affected. I'm more interested in my OR staying at a respectable, healthy level, and to maybe break into the top 50k come the next few weeks, and push towards the top 10k. It's still within reach. It's not out of question, but I'll be happy. I said I'd be happy many months ago. I said I'd be happy with a top 100k finish. I'm in that top 100k now, so now I'll be happy. I'll be very happy with a top 50k finish.
Are you going to be going differential captains, or are you going to stick to safety?
I don't want to give away my plan, but I'll be sensible when it comes to differentials. I wouldn't be doing Trossard picks, but yeah, I probably would be going with players that side doesn't own, but then also players I do have a genuine belief will have a high chance of getting me points, of course. I wouldn't be doing anything crazy. Hey Bilal, how I look at it is concentrate on getting the most points possible. The rank increase and the mini league gains will come with it. That's such an easy sentence, isn't it? But so many people get tunnel vision, man, in this game. So many people. Afternoon, Mark Ben.
Bilal is coming up to 10k. Bilal, you're coming up to what? Is it 100k or 10k? Bilal said in the comment in Discord. I think he said something like that, which is incredible. Mark Burns here, like you said, live, always commenting on the videos.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you guys commenting on the videos, because like Steve-O said in members videos, we just don't get people commenting on our videos for whatever. I know we just do live streams, and I think that's the reason why, because during the stream you don't get the opportunity, and if you've watched a good portion of the stream or you've seen what you've wanted to see of a live stream, then you don't necessarily go back to that to watch and comment. So the people that do comment on our videos, we do appreciate it, because they do help us in the algorithm, and for the people at YouTube, they get they get promoted higher than videos that don't have comments. There we go. How I look at it, I've read that one out. Nice to have a break from FPL, to be honest, says Dan. Are you been finding work busy, Dan? People trying to get back. The shops will be opening soon, won't they? What, 12th of I believe it's the 12th of April. Yeah. So you'll be probably having a lot of shop owners and businesses getting in touch with people like yourself to promote themselves. Hey Harbour Boy, how you doing, mate? So yeah, what's the situation for the rest of the day then, Steve-O? You when you back at work?
Tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning.
How many days a week do you work?
Anywhere between 4 and 6. So this week's been 5. And then I haven't had the rota through yet, but next week will probably be 5 or 6.
When you have your days off, it's not dependent on a certain day, is that right?
No, they're totally random, completely random. Could be anything.
Right. Could
so
be
like today, for example, is random.
That's so frustrating, man.
Well, I said this a million times. It's every time I seem to get a Saturday off, it's when there's no football on. It's as if my manager is seems to know something that I don't.
Yeah, there's no football on. Let's give him a Saturday off.
Yeah, and
no, it's like
it's very frustrating, and even a day off for me isn't a day off, because I still wake up at like 2:30 and I'd be like, well, I don't need to wake up, and I just cannot sleep, and I just think, fuck it, I'm waking up, and I'm up.
Do you ever
till-
go to sleep listening to audiobooks or any podcasts?
No. I usually, my routine is, as I said the other day, it will be watch SoCal, then I'll watch an episode of Breaking Bad, turn that off, and then I just go straight to sleep.
This SoCal is that Warzone player, right?
Yeah, he's the one that's number 9. And I don't know if you saw it on my tweet last night, but when I was talking about him yesterday, passionately, I watched him for 5 games straight. He didn't win one. And I'm just like, I've jinxed him. When I'm actually bigging him up, I've jinxed him. And
Wow.
he usually wins, like, in 5 matches, he'd win, like, 2. But yesterday, he played shit. And I'm just like, well, how are you dying? I don't understand how you're dying. And it's just was really frustrating.
But isn't there a serious problem at the moment with hackers on that game? Like, isn't, like, seriously, like, there is cheaters all
it's
over
very
that
rare
game.
to come across them. But
Is it? Oh, right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not like again, I don't really play the game or anything. I just watch it. But whenever I do watch it, it's very rare for like the person to be like, oh, that's a hacker or whatnot. It does occasionally pop up, but it's not that often, to be honest with you. And
Do you still play Call of Duty?
no, I haven't played it for, I would say, 2 months now.
Yeah, I think it's a
I
game
ain't
that
got
you...
time.
I don't understand. Right. Obviously, people do this as a career and they earn money from playing video games. Like, for me, like, I can really get into a video game like Call of Duty, and I did, and I play it for like a solid couple of months, and then I'm like, right, I'm done. And then I'm like, okay, now I've got to be an adult again and do adult things. But how can people play like 4-5 months solid every single evening? Like,
You do the same with Age of Empires, though, don't you? You play it.
I would play Age of Empires on average about 3 to 4 nights a week, and I would play between 2 to 3 hours.
Fuck yeah. There's your answer. But
to me, I mean, I'm not. To be honest, I've actually been getting worse, I think, at Age of Empires. Yesterday, I was too busy listening to music. We had a game going, and I was listening to music, and I was I didn't even have any. I didn't have any trade carts going from my market to anyone else's market. So basically, I had no gold coming in, and I didn't realize till literally an hour into the game, and I was like, you know what? You know, you're supposed to get better the longer you play games, right? You're supposed to get better at them. I just seem to get worse at them.
The thing is that with a lot of these people, they don't have, without sounding rude, they don't have many responsibilities in their life, and that is literally their life. A computer game.
But also, if they're getting full-time wage for it, they don't have to wake up in the morning for work either, do they?
I had a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, and he would play Call of Duty 9 to 10, maybe 12 hours a day. And he only had a part-time job. This was years, well, I think he still does it, to be honest with you, but he spends so many hours, but he's got nothing else in his life. He does his exercise.
I must admit, in my 20s, I used to be a bit like that. I used to play video games an unhealthy amount of time. But then I used to feel guilty. Like at the end of, I used to feel guilty after thinking, am I going to be like old at 60, 70 years old thinking, I wasted my 20s and 30s playing video games every evening and not actually going out with like friends and socializing. Or I don't know. I just think I need to really kind of curb this sort of habit of playing video games. But yeah, I suppose
the only time I was addicted is a strong
Halo
word,
3 was me. Halo 3 was my addiction.
Well, mine was Call of Duty World at War.
Oh, the dogs. Send in the dogs. Yeah.
I was obsessed with it. And
you had the tanks as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 after that, Modern Warfare 3.
I didn't play after that. Modern Warfare 2 was brilliant. I never played Modern Warfare 3, and I kind of lost interest after that because they go into the realms of like bodysuits and stuff, like exosuits.
Yeah, that's when that was advanced warfare. That was awful.
Yeah, I wasn't interested. Like, so I kind of stopped playing, and I kind of like I didn't play video games at all then. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of enjoyment. And I think a lot of socializing as well to be got from video games if done in moderation. I suppose it's
like the reason why I stopped playing Call of Duty is I'm just getting sick to fucking death of the match skill, whatever it's skill-based matchmaking lobbies. Like it seems like to take like 5 minutes just to find a match. I'm just like, just why am I just not kept in the same lobby that I was playing with 2 seconds ago? Instead, now you got to go with this other bunch of people which maybe has better skill or has same equivalent skill as you, and it's fucking bollocks. And it genuinely annoys me to the point where I'm just sat here doing nothing. Fuck it. I'd rather watch somebody who's skilled at the game playing Warzone than me play multiplayer, and feel like I'm wasting my life sat there waiting for a fucking lobby to load up. I'm just like, I can't deal with this shit. Turn it off. Move on. And yeah, like I said, ironically, I'd rather than just lie in my bed and watch someone that's really good at Warzone, a game that I don't even play. Because obviously you were playing it in the summer, weren't you? Last summer.
Yeah.
Is that when Warzone was
my nephew? Yeah, it was when Warzone was released, and also my nephew still asks me now, "Can we play Warzone?" I'm like, "I'll take a rain check on that." It's it's a fun game, I suppose, but I think you can easily just fall into the routine of playing it and then get addicted. And once you break away from it, you look back, you think, actually, I think I should have kind of eased out on that a little bit and not spent so much time playing it.
Well, could you apply that to fantasy football? I think the answer is yes.
Well, I have applied it. So I certainly have recently not been spending anywhere near as much time looking into my team, my combinations, my game week plan that I normally set out as because of COVID and stuff that's happened as well, throwing everything out the window. Like, not so much now, but last year it was kind of getting a bit ridiculous when it came to like kind of trying to predict things and trying to learn ahead of time. So what I do now is I just literally I'm going to plug the Discord. I literally go in the Discord, read what people are talking about, and then get my knowledge from there. Like, because it's all regurgitated information. It starts off in one place, it gets spreads and spreads and spreads. So I can find out from multiple sources the same information. It just depends which one's the first. And I don't really care who breaks that news first. All I know is I care that I know that before it actually matters to me. And generally that's in Discord.
Padrag Donnelly, Padrag. He's saying that lockdown last year, I was in a very unhealthy routine of playing Call of Duty every night. I don't think people realise how addictive it is. I mean, that's the thing. If you've got an unhealthy relationship with anything, it's like me today. I think it's disgusting that
donuts.
I've got a really very close. I've got a really unhealthy addiction to sugar. It's terrible. I bought 8 cream slices from Morrison's. They are delicious, but it's disgusting that I'm eating 8, and I had 5 packs of McCoy's crisps in one go. It's just like.
But then, would you say, so if you are doing a intensive training session, you can, like my limited knowledge in the human body, right, is that sugar alone will not make you fat. Right. Okay? Because it's an energy. It's an energy. So if you burn sugar, like if essentially sugar and stores as glucose, right? And this is, I'm gonna start talking about things that I have literally limited knowledge about now, so I'm gonna be very careful.
I have no knowledge either.
But I'm pretty sure that sugar on its own will not make you fat and unhealthy. I think that
Have you seen my teeth?
But if you're training though, and you're burning more calories than you're bringing in, then I feel that yes, there may be other issues with your teeth, but that's not in your bloodstream. That's because of the environment in your mouth.
No, I don't think about from a health point of view. Well, no, I do think about a health point of view, but not from a aesthetic style. I think about what the fuck it does to my guts, what it does to my teeth. It's funny, like a lot of people when they say, if I was given thousands of pounds, what would you do with that money? And for me, it would be, I would go to one of the best dentists and just go, give me a new mouth. Do you know what I mean? It's terrible. And it is down to the fact that I've eaten so much sugar crap over God knows how many. And the problem is that, talking of unhealthy relationships, I talked to Dan about this when it comes to back and everything, and you need to, from a positive point of view, when you do like any form of exercise or mobility or stretching work or whatever, if you don't enjoy doing it, do it when you're doing something that you do enjoy, or do it when you tie it in with something that you would do on a regular basis. So for argument's sake, I always do my press-ups after the shower, or I do my stretches while I'm watching a Warzone game, or in Dan's case, he does it when he's watching football. But when it comes to like sugar, I've got a really unhealthy relationship, and I link that, and they talk about this on Mind Pump, I link it to stress. And when I'm feeling like stressed or shitty or pissed off, I just turn to fucking like this morning I had a bag of jelly beans as an example, you know. So I've had jelly beans, 8 ice cream cakes, and 5 packs of crisps in one day.
Do you, if you were, I have a question for you. If you were to stop eating sugar, because I've had this as well, not as extreme as eating that amount of sugar, but if you were to stop eating sugar, would you feel weak and sick and like would you feel that your sugar levels would drop? Is what I'm trying to say. Would you be in a bad mood? Because I know,
because I live such a healthy lifestyle. I don't know where I'm going to be going with this. Because I live such a healthy lifestyle, it's almost like I know for a fact that I don't need the sugar, and I can just say stop. I don't need it. But the problem for me is that I get that urge to just go, fuck it. It's like the other day when I bought those Krispy Kremes. I just thought, fuck it.
So I can do it. I don't fight. I see Krispy Kremes for me. All those flavors and artificial flavorings and stuff, like the strawberries and all the chocolate ones. Like I have tried eating loads of those in the past. I've thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go in for it. I'm gonna try and eat as many as I can. And I just physically cannot eat more than 4. Like I just think this is getting real. I think it's just they're too rich, they're too sweet, and then it's like the only way I could probably peel off the toppings and eat them, but then that defeats the object, doesn't it?
It's really weird because there are some sugary foods which the second I put in my mouth, it feels like my teeth fall out. For example, if I have a Snickers bar, a Mars bar, Easter eggs, essentially a Cadbury's Dairy Milk or something, which is very rare. I never go for stuff like that. My teeth feel like they're about to fall out. Whereas if I eat, for example, Krispy Kreme donuts, or jelly beans or whatever, I don't feel like my teeth are going to fall out. Krispy Kremes, I mean, I normally get to 6 Krispy Kremes in a row.
6?
Like, nah, whatever. Like yesterday, when I had them don't get me wrong, I had specifically I think I did have 6 at first, and then I had 3, then I had whatever the remaining was. But I'm not gonna lie, after 6, I'm like, I feel like shit. I think the most I can eat in one go.
It feels like your body needs a detox, mate. It feels like you need to just drink nothing but water and like those smoothies that, you know, rich American California girls drink.
Yeah, I can eat 9 in one go pretty comfortably, but at that point I'm like, I could not eat 12. Like when I see these people do these challenges, I don't know how, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what their gut health is like.
Well, that is the thing. The thing is, some of that you look at some people, they may look skinny, they may look muscly, but the insides tell a different story. And the cholesterol levels, and also, you know, what's lurking beneath the skin, you know, you could end up on the way down to a heart attack. So you've got to be really careful, or a stroke. You know, there's just like, for example, for yourself, who is, you know, you do take fitness seriously, you do work out, but they recommend that you do that on a balanced, healthy diet. They don't say, right, you're fit and healthy, you can get away with eating whatever you want, because that's not how it works.
Talking of which, you know that I say story, you know that guy that was taking pictures of me? Remember that video that I did the other day?
Yes.
Has he sent me the pictures, Jace? Have a guess.
It's your brother's friend, isn't it?
No. It was just some random stranger.
Oh right, I thought you said it was. Oh right, okay, I got that wrong.
What I
then.
said, what I said was.
No, you said your
because my
brother he knew the
photography.
expensive cameras, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's into photography. Well, did this guy send me the pictures? Nah.
No,
to cut
it's
a long
probably.
story short, for anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, which there won't be anybody apart from the members. Essentially, I was doing some chin-ups with my top off. Some bloke came over and essentially said, "Can I take pictures of you?" And because I get it on a semi-regular basis. I'm just like, yeah, go for it, do whatever. And he did the usual line, "I'll send it over to you. What's your email address?" Said what it was. A week, well, however long it's been now. Have I seen anything? Nah. It's like my mate said, probably just a pervert or something like that. So,
Well, either that or maybe he took your email address down wrong. That's another plausible explanation that could.
Talking of which, whenever I give out my email address,
Yeah.
and I say it's Steveo, spell Steveo, they always come back with Stevio. I'm like, what the fuck is called Stevio? It's Stevo, for God's sake.
What's that?
Are you that fucking stupid? But yeah, I've heard nothing from this guy. It's like when I was back home. God, this has been like a year ago. I don't even know if I told Dan this. I'm sure I told Dan this. I remember like a year ago now, I decided to go out for a jog when I was down in Torbay. Got to Brixham, and this woman started waving at me and was just like, "Oh, you're like a superhero. Can I please take a picture of you?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure."
Okay.
And then I was just like, "Right, could you do me a favour and just send these pictures to my tattooist?" She was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." Did she bother? No.
Put them on your wall, mate. That's what she's done. She's put them all up on her wall. She's got pin-ups of you like walking down the road.
Apart from like obviously the thumbnails and stuff, but obviously Mel or Steve in my case would take pictures of us. Genuinely, have you ever had like someone take pictures of you with a professional camera? Like the difference is so stark. Like it's incredible.
Wedding photography shoot maybe,
yeah.
we've done. I mean, yeah. We actually had a slightly different. We had a film crew in work the other day, professionally filming what we do. Yeah, and
what was that about?
Oh, nothing. Just show off what we do on a show reel. I made sure to. I'm actually quite shy when it comes to being on camera. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird when I'm in control of it. When I'm in control of it. Like there was a guy running around with like a microphone, doing the whole, getting all the audio right. A guy with a light in. And he had this big camera. They had it on this like track, and it had the gimbals. It was all nice and professional. And I was thinking, yeah. And they needed, and I was on it for quite a few takes for different things, but I didn't feel comfortable. Like if someone was stood behind that camera that's in front of me now, pointing it at me, I would feel uncomfortable. The fact that I'm on my own in here, just talking to you and to the chat, I feel totally fine. But if I was in front of someone with a camera in my face like that would feel a bit weird.
I find it really strange because like
I know
doing this channel, like the way we do now, I find it really comfortable talking in front of groups and talking to people in, like at work or whatever. And I can actually like whenever like if ever this happens, like a manager is to like bring a group of us together and talk to us, I'm always just going, that's not how you talk to people. This is what you need to be doing instead. You should be addressing it. Like, it's so weird because of this channel. And I'm like I said, when it comes to like the situation that you were doing, I'd personally feel quite comfortable. It's like when Jamie Oliver came to our shop, and
oh no, I would be confident without the cat. Like if there was 100 people, I could walk out and say right and what I need to say, and I wouldn't feel. But as soon as like someone was there, like with a camera, I'd be like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's really weird. It's really strange.
We had Jamie Oliver come to our shop, and
yeah,
I was just like, so weird. He was just like everybody was in awe of him, and I was just like, it's just Jamie Oliver, yeah. And then it was just the way he interacted with me. He was just like, this is ridiculous. He was just like, "You're a big man. Are you like the security or something?" And I was just like, yeah. just took pictures with him It was so weird. I was just like, because I've
Well,
never...
when I used to work at an airport once upon a time,
Yeah.
I met quite a few people during the time, and like a few football clubs went through, a few famous celebrities. I actually met on a regular basis the do you know the dragon? What's her name?
Deborah Meaden?
Deborah Meaden, yeah.
Hey!
I spoke to her probably, I would say on average once a month.
Oh,
Honestly.
wow.
Yeah.
Were you on first name terms?
No, I knew her name. I said, "Hello, Deborah. How you doing?" She was like, "Very well, thank you. How are you?" "Yeah, good, thank you." And it was just general chit chat, but never like, "Oh, someone famous is coming through."
Yeah.
Better not speak to them. Let's speak to us, toe rags. We're on
there
like
anybody, like, for example, like my mate, someone that used to live here, he worked at Wembley and said that the biggest arsehole we came across was Robbie Williams. He said he just couldn't stand him, but he said one of the nicest people was Madonna. Unless you want to name them, it's up to you. But were there any people that you just thought, I don't like you?
Yeah,
Anybody?
there was, and one of them was a Man United player.
Oh right, okay.
And the team came through, and yeah. So yeah, I don't want to name the Man United player.
Name them. Yeah, that's fine.
Because the airport at that point was only open for them. There was no one else there, so they were coming through, and they were just like, it was the United first team. Bear in mind, they were playing. I think they were playing Plymouth or Exeter. I can't remember who it was now.
Yeah.
How bad is that? I couldn't remember that. It was like an FA Cup game, and it was just like, I spoke to him, and everyone else was coming through. I had Matic really fine. I searched Alexis Sanchez.
So
he went off. It was really weird because I'm really tall and he's really short. This is a God honest truth story. And then this one player came through, and he was like one of my kind of like my favourites. Yeah. And he was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
And it was just like, but then, he could have just had a bad day, Yeah, at the end of the day, no one likes going through airports, do they really? I mean, it's when you get to your destination, that's when, you kind of kind of relax. I suppose everyone's different, aren't they? But, here we go. We got some people trying to guess who it was in the chat. So the manager at the time was David Moyes.
Right. Okay. I still wouldn't even know any of the players.
Anyway,
Mama Baby says never meet your heroes. It's true. I've been lucky to meet.
Do you know the nicest person in terms of football, who I met at the airport was?
Go for it, yeah.
You never believe me, Roy Keane.
I can believe it. He comes
Ipswich Town. He was the Ipswich Town manager at the time, and he hated mobile phones. I said, "Can I get a photo on my phone?" He was like, "Oh bloody, everyone's got a mobile phone." He's notoriously against mobile phone. He hates them, but. Yeah, I got a picture with him and I had a chat with him. He was a really nice guy. But yeah, I
doubt you spoke.
Chat about.
What did you speak about? Like just
like how did the match go? How long's your flight? Blah 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 blah. And things like that. Just general crap that. Not you were my childhood hero and I looked up to you, Roy. Like none of that crap. Like you'd be like. Security. Oh yeah, that's me. Sorry. Just treat people like normal people. Have a chat. It's like, I always find it quite funny when you see. I mean, I completely understand why people go crazy over famous people, but I always find it quite funny when you get people waiting. Because at the airport where I used to work, you used to get people waiting. At the front, you get groups of people, and they'd be like, "Oh my god!" to see somebody for 5 seconds, and then walk in, and like, when people do get the opportunity to see their heroes or their people that have inspired them, they don't act normal. They just go completely crazy, and they can't think about what they want to say or what they and it's just like, I feel really kind of a little bit sad for them, because I feel like they might just get lost in the moment a little bit, and actually, instead of taking the opportunity to maybe just say general chat, they kind of make themselves, they kind of go into a shell and go a bit crazy. But anyway.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais talks about that on I've said to him before. He mentioned the fact that, you know, someone will tweet out something horrible about him or his family or whatever, and then he actually thinks, you know, fuck it, I'm going to reply to you. And then this person would be like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan of yours and stuff. And like Ricky makes the point, he's like, but now you'd rather be known as that dickhead that insulted me rather than just not being known and just being known as a fan that appreciates the work that I do. And it's very true. Like, I remember...
it was Exeter they played. Man United played Exeter.
Oh, Exeter, yes.
Sorry.
I vaguely remember that, actually.
Years ago. Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, and I remember meeting Jeremy Irons, and the only reason why I saw this was him was because there were people just... this was in Leicester Square, and they were all standing outside the back entrance, and I thought, right, who's famous here then? And don't get me wrong, because he stars in one of my favourite films, Die Hard 3. I was genuinely like shaking. But there was these two German people, and they were just constantly taking pictures of him, and he was just evidently just like, please just go away. And he even actually literally said to them, like, no more pictures, just I'm not doing selfies, and I'm not doing any more pictures with you. And I just, like you said, just politely shook his hand, said that you star in one of my favourite films ever, and we just had a brief exchange and then cleared off. I think it's great. But most people, whenever I see celebrities, I just do the old nod of respect, just, you're right, mate, and that's it, really. That's all you need to do, and that's all they want, really. You know, you hear a lot of people, famous people, saying anecdotes a lot, like just say hello. That's all we want. We don't want, like you said, someone screaming in our face or sticking a phone in our face and trying to take a picture. But like you said, you get it, and it's like I say, it's this whole thing that I talk about a lot when it comes to people that they think that they want to be famous. No, you don't. Like, through social media and stuff, they all want to be famous through social media and everything, and it's like, no, you don't know what it's like. And it's really weird, to be honest with you. That, I mean, what did you think about that post that someone put up about kids these days? Like, they want to aspire to be a YouTuber. What do you think about that?
I think there's. I mean, there is a great. Obviously, there's a greatness into inspiring to be something which you really want to be, and never take that away from anyone, really. But the statistics say that, you know, you've just got a very, very small chance of making it big in that sort of like saturated market. I mean, it's like what we're doing. It's like, you know, we've, like you mentioned in your video, this is even like less likely because we're in such a niche to actually blow up. So it's like, sorry, I've got this little bug in me right now, because Dan's saying 2005 they played Exeter. That's weird, because I remember Alexis Sanchez coming through Exeter Airport, and he just recently signed for United. And I remember searching Alexis Sanchez, and he signed for United in January 2018. So, Dan, can you do some investigations and find out in 2018 what football team Man United played for them to have to fly through Exeter Airport? Was it someone like... I'm trying to think. Was it Plymouth or was it...
They did play Exeter in the FA Cup. They did, or I do.
What, in 2018?
That. Oh, in 2018?
Yeah. No, what team was it in 18? Was it wasn't Argyle, was it?
No. They definitely haven't played Plymouth Argyle.
But who the hell would it have been?
Yeovil?
Could have been Yeovil. This is really annoying me now. It could have been. I
remember my friend.
Could have been Yeovil.
Yeovil versus Man United. I think that
could have been Yeovil. Yeah, it could have been Yeovil. But they played a team anyway. Then they came through at the airport. So cool. But they've also come through. They came through a few times, and it was the other occasion they came through that the player in question.
You were doing airport security in 2018.
I left.
So you've only just been doing this job for like about
No,
2
I
years?
left. No, I've been doing it for 3. I left.
Wow.
In January. Yeah. So essentially, I left in like literally February 2018.
Wow.
February 2018. I think I left, and then I moved, and then was lucky to kind of just fall into a job that I needed to
Christ,
fall into.
I didn't realise you'd moved from Torbay only recently. Like in the grand scheme of things.
United did play Yeovil in January 2018. There we go. Padraig Donnelly, thank you ever so much. Thank you. It was Yeovil. Yeah, it was Yeovil.
There we go.
Yeah.
Dan saying Sanchez the snake.
But the thing is, I can never forget, he came through and he had all these chains on. Like he was going for a metal detector, right? And he had all these chains on. He had these earrings in. He had like he was a tiny little guy, and I'm 6'3", and I'm like searching him, and he's just and it was just really weird. And he was just like that, smirking as I was searching, like, you know, in the way he does. And I was just like, you know what, mate, you know, I felt like just if it had been a normal passenger, I would have been like, you're not coming through, mate, until you take all that stuff off. But he had to take it all off anyway, but I would have been a bit more assertive, firmer, kicked him back through the metal detector.
Talking of that job, then, what's the most strangest thing you've ever come across when searching or whatever? You must have some stories. This is really interesting. How long did you do the job for?
8 years.
8 years, right? Okay. So there must be some stories there which you can tell the audience. Some funny stories about things you've come across, excuses people have made, and animals maybe.
There's been interesting things. A bag of pleasurable objects. That was quite funny. That was quite funny. Because it was like, I remember it going through the X-ray machine, and the operator in the X-ray machine was like, take a look at this. So I was like, right. Something was going off in the bag, and it was like, we're like, excuse me, sir. Can I have a word? Yeah. We need to. We're gonna have to search your bag, but we need to do it in private. Right? Okay. What's the matter? And he was like, he was keeping it. He didn't kind of let anything on, and I said, well, we can't see through the bag that well. There was a lot of objects in there with batteries and all wiring and stuff like that, but they were all shaped in a certain way. And it turned out that he was selling them.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it turned out he was selling them. So that's what he said anyway. He was going to a warm climate destination, a popular tourist destination, with a bag full of pleasure items, and he was selling them. And that was funny. Yeah, that was funny. Put the gloves on for that. What else? Oh, before doing the airport, like in the terminal, I used to do screening mail. I used to screen Royal Mail and the inbound the outbound goods that were going on aircraft. So as you can appreciate, any goods that were going from land to air have to be X-rayed for obvious reasons. Certain things act differently in altitude, and also the obvious reason. The odd grenade, firearm.
Really?
We've had bomb squad from Plymouth turn up. Yeah.
In Exeter?
Yeah.
I even know.
Yeah.
It's amazing because I think to myself, I live near Heathrow. What the fuck do they get?
Oh, loads. Absolutely loads. Yeah, loads. We used to have a little bin the IE, like I'm not going to say the word, but we've got this like almost like a blast proof bin, and we used to just like, if there was something that we didn't like the look of, because we're trained to look for explosives essentially. So I know what the makings of it's not rocket science, but pulled out any items we didn't like the look of, put it in the secure bin, and it was dealt with by the professionals. That they turned up in their truck with their blue light on top, and then they would do controlled explosions and stuff like that.
Would this be like a regular thing, like once a month, or would it be like once a year? How often would this happen?
No, it wouldn't be regular. I would say three or four times a year we'd have to do a controlled explosion on something. I've never ever actually touched. Thankfully, it was never anything really sinister. It was generally stuff like a World War II grenade. So for someone like an antique collector has decided that they were going to ship a grenade through the post, like for whatever reason, and they thought that was fine. Or like things can appear strange, like certain consistencies of material can appear the same as plastic explosives and things like that. So yeah, it was fascinating. But yeah, it was a kind of a high pressure job, because you had to really be on it, like, because you kind of you've got responsibility essentially to make sure that there's nothing going on to that aircraft that shouldn't be. And so yeah, is the kind of the rule was, if you're in doubt, then just pull it out, and it was kind of dealt with.
Did you have to deal with animals?
Yeah, there was a few cases, but then there are certain things that can be that can be shipped, mainly like eggs and things like that. Fish eggs, bird eggs, and things like that. They're generally kind of like packaged appropriately, and they've got warning stickers on and stuff like that. But I never had. There was an animal that, we did find an animal in someone tried to bring on a hand luggage. I think it was a Chihuahua or something like that. But the thing is like, contrary to popular, honestly, the people, contrary to popular belief, X-rays from an X-ray machine are actually very, assuming you're not going to go through it all day long, they're not really harmful to you. You're more likely to get more radiation up in the aircraft, to be honest with you. So, like, we used to not see. I didn't, but the odd idiot used to go through the X-ray machine.
Have you seen this from Fire Talk? That's hilarious. Girl I worked with had a vagina piercing and went through airport metal detector, and it went off. Paranoid. She told the guy about the piercing. Turned out to be her car keys.
Yeah. We used to get like loads of stories about people like, oh yeah, I've got a hip, hips and knees all the time, hips and knees going off crazy. Never had that myself, but people would be like, oh, it's probably my earring, isn't it? And then they'd like have this like massive chain on around their neck. I'm like, no, it's fine, because the metal it allows a certain amount of metal through by default. It will allow earrings, rings, small bits of metal. It's generally the density and the size of the metal, so that will affect it. So generally, like hip replacements and knees and stuff like that will trigger it off. But yeah, it's an interesting world. But I'm glad that I'm not doing it anymore. It was kind of repetitive. Like the environment was kind of. It wasn't like for me on it. You couldn't like relax and have a chat with each other. It was more of a, you got to focus on your job and just keep to yourself sort of thing. So whereas I am now, I'm at least where I work now is that I can have a laugh and it's more of a friendlier environment.
That's what I was going to say. Do you find that the job that you have now is less essentially stressful?
My job now?
Yes.
It's stressful in a different way. My job now is stressful in a different way, because my job now is generally on deadlines for customers who've got projects for example, maybe not so much events, but for things like businesses, like they've got opening a business or something, or sign writing, or stationery for whatever occasion that they're using it for, or COVID safety signage, things like that. Yeah, I saw that message from Karma Baby, very funny. But no, it's a different type of stress. But I find that the stress now is on the workload, because the workload's piling up, but we're not growing the staff levels that you would kind of. I think what it is, it's because we can never sort of forecast how busy we're going to be ahead of time. So therefore, we kind of just take for granted that it's busy, and then kind of just live with it, and then it gets busier and busier and busier, and it's just like before you know it, it's on top of you, and then you're kind of stressing out. Can
your company not just genuinely just employ just one additional person? Like,
we could, but it's a time intensive job to try and train someone up to do the actual job, to a level where we're not having to kind of look over their shoulder, because it's a lot of processes involved, and it's not like you're now this, you're going to only do this, and you're just going to be in charge of this. We're kind of flittering from different sort of departments, and seeing jobs from start to finish go through. So it's really tough to kind of do that. You're kind of looking at about 8 to 9 months of kind of just basically drilling it into someone. This is what you need to do. It's like constantly, yeah.
No matter how highly skilled they are at graphic design or whatever,
so graphic design obviously is part of it. So it's generally like usage, like the print machines. Like there's different types of print machines. There's different methods of printing. There's different materials. There's different inks. There's the CNC machine, which could rip someone's arm off if they didn't play with it properly. There's plotting, there's vinyls, there's so many different things. And if they're going in from out with no experience, about 8 to 9 months at least before they're competent. And if they have got experience, like we have got a guy that started at the turn of the year who's got previous experience, and he has taken to it a lot better, but he's still learning. And because everywhere does things differently, so but he's also only got a much narrower responsibility within the business. He's actually production and does the production side of things. But anyway, it's hello Ray Joyce. Yeah, it's a different time. I'll be honest, mate. Ray Joyce is here.
Fucking hell. That's all we say. Celebrities here. Very rare seeing Ray. Morning from New
we need
Zealand.
to, obviously, 6 months pregnant. You're Karma Baby, man. You've got some crazy nights ahead, man. But how are you doing, Firetog?
Yeah.
How's things with you, mate?
Having a child. The first, you'd be able to tell me more than anything. The first year is supposed
Depends,
to be,
man. It depends. Like, you can get really lucky and have a child that'll sleep through the night and they will be fine, or you'll have a situation like myself and my wife. We had the unfortunate colic bouts pretty much every night, endless crying every couple of hours and not being able to sleep. And if it wasn't for Melissa's parents, like kind of being over at the time to kind of help, we would have not had any sleep. Like I think because they kind of looked after Hayley in the day, when we tried to catch up on our sleep, we would be with Hayley at night when she was waking up literally every other hour. 2 hours sleep maximum. Like you're looking at you just can't do anything to stop them crying when they've got colic. It's literally just got to comfort them as best you can. It's crazy. It's horrible.
What is colic? What exactly is it?
Scientists have tried to kind of narrow it down, but I think colic in its very basic explanation is trap wind. I'm just going to just colic in babies. What is it? It's horrible. It's like they scream in this like sort of like they're in agony. Like it's a horrible thing. But they think it's scientists said there's no real definitive thing, but they think it is something to do with so crying can start for whatever reason, and it will have no apparent cure. And it's colic is not a disease or diagnosis, but a combination of baffling behaviors. It's really just a catch-all term for excessive crying in otherwise healthy babies. The problem being there's no solution to it besides the passing of time. And it's common.
Wow.
1 in 5 infants suffer from colic. And they can go on for hours, mate. Cry if you seeing a baby cry for hours, mate. It really eats away at you. It's horrible. I feel for anyone that goes through it. I hope you don't have that, Karma baby. But they think I'm trying to read it here, but it's not actually saying a reason behind it. But they think it's to do with some sort of wind. Again, I don't know. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. But it's normally like within the first 3 months, 4 months. It's horrible. I mean, yeah, if you can get through that, you're set for life.
Oh, I can imagine. Denver is saying, so happy to see Steve and Jason together on a stream, getting ready for my 9 till 7 shift. 9 till 7, Jace.
I used to do 7 o'clock when I worked in the airport. I used to do night shifts, constant night shifts. That's all I did, and it was 7:30 at night to 7:30 in the morning. 4 on, 4 off.
Yeah.
4 on, 4 off. And the first day, not a day off. That was just sleep. And the day before, I had to go to bed early, so it was kind of literally like you say, you're essentially getting 2 days off. And it's 7:30 at night to 7:30 in the morning. And in the winter months, it's depressing, really depressing, because it's dark when you wake up and it's dark when you go to work and you don't see sunlight.
Would you be busy like from 7:30 to for the full 12-hour shift? Would it be just constant? Or would just
I chose to work the nights because I couldn't do it in the day. No way. There was kind of a them and us attitude between the night shift and the day shift. Like we never used to intermingle between the night security and the day security. Never used to kind of socialize. You'd have the shifts on the day and you'd have the night shifts. They'd have 2 night shifts and you'd have like six day shifts. And the night shift comprised of a much smaller team. We were much more tight knit. We kind of I would say had a lot more fun. Like I say, we didn't have fun in games, but on night shift you were able to. And then in the end, I would go down and do I'll do what they call control posts. So I'd be on the control post. So I'd be down just letting vehicles in, searching vehicles, going onto the actual apron where the aircraft were. And that was good because it kind of gave me more time to myself without having to every 5 minutes deal with something. It was kind of like a much more calmer, stressless job within that sort of industry.
And why was there animosity between the day and the night? What was the deal?
I think it was because of... I don't really know the reason. I think it was because of different supervisors, different rules. Like the day supervisors couldn't tell us really what to do. And we used to obviously leave before it got really busy in the day. And I can imagine it would have probably annoyed a lot of people because they'd come in, see that we were having a laugh, and then it would start to get busy and then we'd go home. So essentially I can imagine that's probably part of it. There was a different attitude within the actual shifts. The day shift was way more they were kind of how can I say it in a nice way? Yeah, you couldn't really stop and have a chat with them.
That bad?
They were that bad. They weren't right. Sit in the tea room and have a chat with them. No, you couldn't do that. It was whereas the night shift, you much more slower pace. It was much more relaxing. Day shift, they were just up their own asses.
Do you find it cool that we've got 60 odd people here at the moment and they're just listening to us chat? I think it's fucking great. I always say, with Denver saying that he's about to do his shift and everything. I mean, do you actually listen to any live streams? Not. I'm not even referring to fantasy football, but just like live streams in general, and just.
No.
No, you don't. Oh, right, okay. Is there a reason for that?
I tell a lie. I listen to one live stream, and that's when I go to sleep. And I fall asleep with my earphones in, and I listen to this guy playing. Funny enough, Warzone. Yeah.
What's his name?
His name's Nitro Luke DX.
Right. Okay. And why do you listen to him?
I don't know, but because I find it easier to go to sleep to him talking. Yeah, he's not very. Yeah, when I've got something on my mind, I find it really hard to go to sleep sometimes, and I just literally am like sat like laying there with my eyes shut, and I've just got something on my mind. If I listen to something like him playing Warzone, it distracts me from that, and I can just fall asleep. But the problem is, I've got the same Bluetooth earphones as you. Well, you've got the same as me, and they've got about a battery life of about 3-4 hours.
Yes.
So I'm a really deep sleeper, but Melissa's not. Like a spider could sneeze in the corner of the room and she'd wake up, right? That's how light she sleeps. About 3 or 4 in the morning, my phone would automatically switch from the Bluetooth would disconnect.
Oh wow!
She reminds me of that. So
Christ Almighty, fuck that.
Because he starts playing Warzone late at night, Monday to Friday.
What is he? English, American?
English. He's English. Yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and I couldn't watch live streams like during the day. I just don't feel like I've got no time to sit down and watch live streams for whatever reason. I don't really watch much at the moment on YouTube, to be honest with you. I just feel like I'm running out of time in the day. Like it's almost 6 o'clock at night right now, and
fucking hell. Yeah.
I just think, I'm thinking, I'm supposed to have done this, I'm supposed to have done that. Okay, yeah. And I'm like, where's the time gone? And I think we're all in that sort of situation. But I appreciate, by the way, if you are watching this live stream, feel free to carry on watching. I think what people have fed back to me and maybe to you as well is that they kind of have this on in the background and they can just kind of get on with their everyday lives and kind of just have us talking, whether it be about FPL. Like if this wasn't members only right now, you can guarantee you would have some critter coming into the chat going, "When are you going to talk about Game Week 30? I want to know who the best captain pick is." Oh, I'm going to hit the dislike button.
Don't get me started.
What's your overall rank?
You forgot the important one. How many points you get? Oh my god! It's why Andy does his streaming on Twitch for computer games, because he gets so many people complaining that it's a fantasy football channel. You can't be doing this, and this. And I get it. I do genuinely get it. And I think for someone the size of Andy, for example, it makes sense for him to do a separate thing. But
the pressure that he's under to kind of do his I just take my hat off to him, man. He's like the uploads are one thing, that is work, and then you've got the live streams. I mean, fair play, man, fair play. Like, it's a lot of work.
I'm gutted he does it on Twitch, because I don't have Twitch at all, and I wouldn't mind, because he was live yesterday doing Call of Duty multiplayer, and I was just like, for fuck, because I just quickly put it on my mobile phone for 2 seconds, and I was a bit frustrated that he was playing multiplayer, and it's just like there's not many streamers out there that actually play Call of Duty multiplayer. And that's something that I actually kind of enjoy watching, the multiplayer, rather than watching the Warzone.
I think it's because it's so repetitive in terms of the map pool. Maybe I know kinds of, and the skill based matchmaking has been ruining people's experience in multiplayer. I know that it was a big thing back in like Christmas time. I know there was loads of videos on YouTube about that. I don't think that's got any better, but yeah. And all the people that are relevant are playing Warzone, of course. So
yeah, I know the good old tactical Brit. He's been doing Warzone, like I said, and everything, and it's a lot of people just like watching it and everything, and it is quite fascinating to watch. And I think on that note, mate, I think we should call it an evening.
I think so, mate.
I should be in bed, mate.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed it. I've entitled the stream Jason and Steve discussed FPL. Have you been missold?
That'll be all next week. We'll be talking all next week about good old FPL.
There's literally nothing I can say right now that you don't know. So, enjoy. Anyway, Steve-O, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Thank you guys for being
in all
here.
seriousness, it's a shame we can't do this on a regular basis, but as discussed, it's just not impossible. It's just by pure fortune that we're able to do this today. You're available, I'm available, and it's the fact there's no, like I said, ironically, there's no Premier League football on, so we're actually able to do something like this, and maybe there could be more international breaks.
What? I mean, the admin. We just stop doing that now, don't we?
Yeah, forget the admin.
Like it's only the members that are here. Oh, I hope you enjoyed it anyway, guys. And I'll see you on Discord. And I might do a members video, just talking random stuff in the next few days. Yeah, as and when I can fit it in.
One on your the Discord game you've designed. I don't even know what's it even called on Discord.
I was thinking about just sticking it on here now. Just say, look, this is what I'm playing. Don't get addicted like I am.
Do it, advertise it.
Second screen, Discord screenshots. FPL.
This is what Jason's created, everybody, on the.
No, I haven't.
Discord.
No, I haven't created it. Someone else created it.
You've created it.
No. It was created by a very talented person by the name of RPD Roberts, I think his name is. RDP Roberts created it. It's called Soccer Guru, but I've renamed it into our Discord called FUT Foot because I'm interested in the foot game that's on it. It's got like betting markings and stuff like that, and I've disabled all those commands because I'm not interested in that. But the foot game is amazing, and you can build and battle against other people in the Discord with your FPL teams, and people who are in there now. Let me bring it up on the screen and let you guys see what fun is to behold playing this very crazy game. Let me just work out why I can't bring it there. It's got to be there, surely. Here we go. So this is it here on the screen. So what can we see? We've got De Bruyne there, look. If I type in a command now, like, so this is my 11. That's my 11. I don't think you can see that. It's a bit too small, but that's my starting 11. If I go in, claim a card, I've got to wait, but essentially I can go and play some games. So if I do this, I do friendly Anurag. I can actually play a game against Anurag with my players. Here we go, at the bottom here. It's the first half, look.
Is this on, what is this, on Foot Manage?
Yeah. Foot Manage, Foot Manage. Foot 1, Foot 2, Foot Arena, yeah. So I'm 2-0 up against Anurag, and it's all done in the chat. 3-0 up against Anurag. Upper Meccano, Lamar, and Sissoko have scored, and then Cuckoo's have made it 4-0, full-time 4-0 for me. And this is, Martin McFly's just opened up a player there. He's claimed a player. He's brought in Zhang Jizi. I don't know how to say that name, but my team is actually a French team with a Spanish goalkeeper. I've got Jordi Massip in goal. I've got Hernandez, Canate, Upper Meccano, and Sambia. By the way, tip, if you are playing this game, Zambia, by the way, is absolute gold dust. He's only two.
Who does he play with in real life? Who?
Zambia, he is for Montpellier. He's a right back, and he's a 74 in form right back, and he. Oh wow, it's come up on the thing there. That's weird. It's got like a weird background effect. Yeah, he plays for Montpellier, and he's 2,600, I think he is, coins, and he's got insane stats: 87 pace, 83 passing, 72 shooting, 74 defending, 77 physical, and 81 dribbling. Absolutely amazing for a 2009. Oh, it's 2,900, I should say. But I've also got Kenny Lala.
Who the hell's that?
I've got a freeze card for Kenny Lala. Hang on, show Lala. 157,000, Kenny Lala there. 90 pace, 85 passing, 85 dribbling, 82 physical, 83 shooting. Decent. Who else have I got? I've got Coquelin, Sissoko, and Lamar. I'm looking to upgrade Lamar and Sissoko at some point. And Nkunku and Edouard up front. Who both obviously don't play in the Premier League, but they... who does the Nkunku play for? I'm not sure. But you can see it's quite a...
I can see why
involved
it's addictive
game
for some people, I can imagine. There are already people here, Buffy there, La La Land.
Oh yeah, lots of the people here. Lots of people here play it. Yeah, lots of people here play it. Yeah. I've got them involved in it. It's someone robbed me. Podner just robbed me of 84 credits. Podner, what are you doing? I'm going to rob you back. Rob Podner.
What does it mean by rob? What is that?
You can steal credits off someone. Ah, there you go. I've just stole double. There we go. So we got. Anurag's playing me as a reverse friendly now. He's Inaki Williams has scored for him, but Nkuku's equalised for me. It's now 1-1. Come on, I can get that winning goal. It's still the first half. Second half now. Edouard's got the second. And again, Zambia. There we go. Boom. And you can claim a card every hour. So you get a new player every hour, as long as you put in a command. And then twice a day, you can do vote, which will give you 3 or 4 or 5 cards, up to 5 cards every time you vote. Some people get really lucky and they get some really crazily expensive cards, and then they can sell them to build a team with. So you either keep the really rare card or you sell it and you use that to build a team with it. So I got Del Piero, for example. I got Del Piero, an icon moment of Del Piero, and I sold it for 460,000. I used that to spend to buy a new team, essentially.
So this game that you just played against Anurag, does it actually mean anything? Or
that's a friendly, but you can play an arena match, and the arena matches will give you rankings on the server and also on a global leaderboard.
And I'm assuming you can only play a certain amount of matches
a day. 8. You can play 8 matches a day.
Does everybody have to play 8 matches a day, or is that to their detriment?
Yeah, so it's a cap. It's a cap. So you can see Podner's doing a match now on the arena. So you do it. You choose your opponent. You've got 5 opponents you choose from. You play against them, and then depending whether you win or lose, you'll gain or lose rank, or you'll stay where you are.
He's got Bird Camp. He's got Ibrahimovic. The hell? Wow. That's nuts. It's very
It's amazing because it's all in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm thinking virtual FPL here. That's what I'm thinking. The way it is and everything. An Ibrahimovic hat-trick.
Oh, hat-trick for Ibrahimovic. Nice. You see there the post-match. You've received 400 credits for winning that game, and he's risen to arena position of 11,899.
What does that specifically mean, arena
so
position?
he's 11,899 in the world.
Well, the whole game?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And where are you, just of interest?
I'm about
20,000.
No. I've only started playing it 8 days ago, so I'm about 100 or 200 places ahead of him. It's not much. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can see that it's a very very busy game. There's lots of people playing it. That's why there's 4 channels. There's channels for everything. Blonde's playing it. Notorious is playing it. Brew's playing it. Anurag's playing it. Jones bloke's playing it. To be honest, there's a lot of people playing it. A lot more than I thought would play
Buffy's
it.
just put his team in there, and I don't quite understand this. It's saying that Cristiano Ronaldo's for PSG. What's that all about? What's that?
Where, sorry?
Oh, sorry, this is a team that's... Buffy's just put in the...
No, that's the team name. So the team name for the actual person's on the left. The highest player within that team is then mentioned,
Oh, I see.
and then their rank. Yeah.
Wow. That's nuts.
Well, there you go. Steve-O, you need to play it, mate, because everyone wants you to get a team going. There you go. Steve-O's going to sign up. There he goes. He's nodding his head. He's going to start. He's going to start up. While you're sacking your lemons, you can play a few games.
Breaking Bad is what it's about. Up to episode 8, I think, of series 4, coming to an end soon. No spoilers. Yeah, really enjoying that again. Very good.
What was I watched today? I can't. No, Peaky Blinders for me. I'm into Peaky Blinders.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I
quite good.
I haven't seen that myself.
It's good. Really good. Steve, you should try an episode out. Get into the Peaky Blinders.
Loads of things people recommend. I remember all those people recommending those sitcoms. Didn't like a single one of them.
Oh, I'm still watching this Curse of Oak Island, and I'm convinced I'm going to watch them tear up that island upside down. Like it's literally a building site now.
What? Sorry, what program?
The Curse of Oak Island. So it's essentially an island in the Atlantic Ocean, which is off the coast of Nova Scotia, which is actually connected to the coast of Nova Scotia by a road. And the island is fabled to be home of a famous money pit that was long ago since abandoned by depositors.
Is this a true documentary?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So they found... I'm sure I've said this to you. They found a cross that dates back to the times of the Knights Templar. They've also found human remains, mysterious human remains in one of these places, shafts, whatever, down to this money pit. They believe that the people that built this treasure cave backfilled it in and then had these ancillary tunnels that were traps. So if you were to break in, you would have released seawater into the actual chamber and would have probably drowned. And lots of people have died. Well, I think 5 or 6 people have died. 4 or 5 people have died trying to find this treasure.
What is this on Netflix?
No, it's on the History Channel.
Oh no, right.
But the thing is, they spent like millions on it. Like these people, Rick and Marty Lagina are the people doing it. They spent absolutely multi-millions trying to find out where this treasure is, and they're getting like clues, and like they got this boring company in to like bore down 170 feet or whatever it is, 180 feet right down to bedrock, and they keep hitting like wood, and they're finding cross beams of tunnels like down at like 170 feet underneath the ground, and they're pulling it up, and they've got like bits of like wood, the chunks of wood, and then you can see some of the wood's got like handmade cuts to it, and it's got like there's like nails, like old, really old nails they're pulling out as well. It's really interesting, but it's really long drawn out. Like they've not they're like, for example, on a typical episode you get a bit of metal, they find a bit of metal, and they date it back, and it's old, and it may belong to an old cannon. The previous episode, it was a stone that was perfectly chiseled around. Well, it wasn't perfect, but it was chiseled stone. And it was actually before the days of cannonballs. They used to use stones, and they used to get masons to cut stones to a round ball. And they used to use them in muskets, like the old pirate muskets, like flint shot almost. And they used to use stones. It's before they realised that iron was much more cheaper and more readily easier to use for that sort of thing, and probably more effective. But essentially, it is interesting. It is, if you like history, it's interesting. But don't go watching it thinking, oh, they're going to pull up loads of treasure, because so far they've just pulled up ring bolts, ox shoes, nails, bits of leather that are old, and yeah, not a great deal out.
A drawn out version of an episode of
Time Team. Yeah, Time Team. Yeah. Coins. They found coins. Yeah, they found coins.
And they're expecting to find some knight's treasure or something in that.
There is a fabled legend that there's a treasure pit, or they call it the money pit, and it's basically a cavity somewhere where they've entombed this treasure in this sort of like concrete sort of substance. There's been reports of it being found, but it flooded, and because of the way that the earth is there, because it's flooded, they believe it to be fully flooded by seawater. It can move around, so they're trying to do these boreholes down to try and find where it actually is. They keep hitting mine shafts, and they actually found a big cavity, and the boring drill dropped straight down. Like, they found something down there, and they've sent a guy down because they took the video footage, and there's like gold glimmering, so because it's all filled with water, and it's so they took a guy down with a scuba gear to try and find this gold, and it's like so murky down there. Do I think that they'll find something? I hope they do, for their own sake, because they're so invested in it now. It's so invested. Like, they do obviously get money from the TV series, but they must have spent a hell of a lot of money on it. But at the moment, it's just like they're not just focusing on one place. They're digging in one place, but they're also digging a road next to a swamp that's been fully drained out. They keep finding stuff in the swamp, and then they're doing an excavation out on one of these old homes that was owned by an ex-slave that was then liberated and then lived on Oak Island after. I think he fought for the British in the War of Independence, and then after that he lived on Oak Island, and we helped with and he was rumored to have paid for his house and his items and his wares on the mainland with old coins, like ancient coins. So people are trying to put some authenticity to those stories as well. So it's like, yeah, there's loads of things going on. There's loads of history behind the island, and there's an actual.
Have all these episodes been recorded, or is it still?
Oh yeah, no, it's like almost like a documentary of what's going on there. The only thing is, it's like there's a really annoying narrator that's like for example, there we go. Okay, you imagine so they just find a coin. So it's like, hey Rick, found a coin. All right, okay. And then the narrator comes, a coin? Could it be a coin used on a famous treasure ship anchored in the swamp many centuries ago? And it gets to the point where it becomes like a bit of a joke. Like, it's like now I'm like, when I'm watching it with my wife, I kind of try and predict when the narrator is going to come in and say something stupid. Like, I'm like, oh, we found a bit of parchment or a bit of leather or something. And I'm like, oh, right. Could it be a bit of leather off a alien that's come out of a spaceship? Like, literally, it's like so crazy. But anyway, it's worth it. If you like your history and archaeology and stuff, it's a good watch. But don't go thinking they're gonna pull up
aliens, have you
loads of treasure.
Talking of aliens, have you heard about this whole thing about the fact that there's loads and loads of news stories coming out about UFOs and everything, and there's lots of government officials now saying, yeah, they exist, and they think that they're slowly putting out these stories so that when eventually something does happen very, very soon, we're just gonna be like, oh, it's a UFO. Like, do you believe in all this? Or?
I think that there is certain evidence. Well, there's certain documented evidence to suggest that you can. It's open to more research and debate and discussion. I think that there are certainly things that have happened that are unexplainable, that have been seen and witnessed by people in professions that, you know, they don't have any reason to lie, like aircraft pilots, for example, fighter pilots, you know, people out at sea, captains of boats, like people first-hand evidence. There's so many different reports. Yes, there may be a majority of them that are probably made up, or it's certainly exacerbated. Sort of, kind of, maybe the details are kind of between the lines. They've kind of filled in their own bits of it, but maybe I think on a whole, I think if you look at the universe, the actual size of the universe, and the fact of how much of a real estate that we inhabit within the universe, I think statistically, it would be incredibly unlikely that we are the only life forms in the universe. However, I think equally it would be very unlikely for any type of life to be able to reach us. It's very unlikely. It's the span of the galaxies within the universe. It's too big, and if they did have a way of being able to traverse such great distances, albeit via conventional propulsion. And what I mean by that is like sub-light speed. So you'd be looking at like cryostasis. That's the only way you could do it. You'd have to kind of freeze yourself, or maybe live forever. So find a way of living forever. But essentially, I think you'd go crazy and probably commit crazy stuff on a ship forever, just drifting in space. But long story short, no, I think the chances of it being false and extraterrestrials being not a thing is very small. I think there's most probably many planets within the universe that have got life on them, but we will never be aware of them, and we will never make contact with them. Some of them we may hear signals from, but they may or may not be around anymore. It's like for now, if you had a powerful enough telescope and you were, say, X amount of light years away, you could look at a telescope of the Earth. It would be much different to what it is now. Like someone that was looking at the Earth closer to the center of the universe. So because we're expanding out, so the universe is expanding outwards. Someone looking within the inner what? Someone looking at the Earth with a high-powered telescope would probably see dinosaurs roaming the Earth. You can literally look back into the past.
Yeah, it's
because light travels at a certain speed, and that's why when you look at anything past where we are, we can only see it in the red spectrum, because that's the slowest.
Let's get out of here.
Anyway. Are we still live? Anyway, guys, all the best. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.